Hello, boys and girls. Today I'll be reading a portion of Love That Dog on pages 35 to 49. And on the poem before this section, on February 15th, Jack talks about liking a poem about the street music in the city. And by the end of the poem, he says, "At both ends of our street are the yellow signs that say, 'Caution, children at play.' But sometimes the cars pay no attention and speed down the road as if they are in a big hurry, with many miles to go before they sleep." And by now, the many miles to go before they sleep, I'm sure you're remembering what reference that is to that famous poem by Robert Frost. So we'll start on page 35 with February 21st. That was so great, those poems you showed us, where the words make the shape of the thing that the poem is about. Like the one about an apple that was shaped like an apple. Just like that. And if you look a little further into there, you can see what the words are that say yum, 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 delicious, delicious. All words that would describe the apple. Like the one about an apple that was shaped like an apple, and the one about the house that was shaped like a house. My brain was pop, pop, popping when I was looking at those poems. I never knew a poet person could do that funny kind of thing. February 26th. I tried one of those poems that look like what it's about. Before I show you, I want you to think in your mind, if Jack were to make a concrete poem that is the shape of the object it's about, I want you to think about what he possibly might pick. Close your eyes. Now open. My Yellow Dog by Jack. And just like the apple poem, where the pieces inside that create the apple are words that would describe the apple, Jack has created a poem in the shape of his dog. And if you notice, the body parts of the dog are displayed in the correct places and then take the shape of what they would be on the dog, including descriptions like sniff, 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 slobber, slobber, slobber for accentuating, and his tail wagging as well. Even the eye and ear show a lot of careful detail to making that concrete poem. March 1st. Yes, you can type up the yellow dog poem that looks like the dog, but this time keep the spaces exactly the same, and maybe it would look really, really good on yellow paper. Maybe you could put my name on it, but only if you want to, and only if you think it looks good enough. March 7th. I was a little embarrassed when people said things to me like, "Neat poem, Jack," and "How'd you think of that, Jack?" And I really, really like the one you put up about the tree that is shaped like a tree. Not a fake looking tree, but like a real tree with straggly branches. But I want to know, who is the anonymous poet in our class who wrote that? And why didn't he or she want to put his or her name on it? Was it like me when I didn't think my words were poems? Maybe you will tell the anonymous tree poet, that his or her tree poem is really a poem. Really, really, and a good poem too. March 14th. That was the best poem you read yesterday by Mr. Walter Dean Myers. The best poem ever. I am sorry I took the book home without asking. I only got one spot on it. That's why the page is torn. I tried to get the one spot out. I copied that best poem and hung it in my bedroom wall right over my bed where I can see it when I'm lying down. Maybe you could copy it too and hang it on the wall in our class where we can see it when we're sitting at our desks doing stuff. I sure like that poem by Mr. Walter Dean Myers called Love That Boy because of two reasons. I liked it. One is because my dad calls me in the morning just like that. He calls, "Hey there, son." And also because when I had my yellow dog, I love that dog. And I would call him like this. I'd say, "Hey there, Sky." His name was Sky. March 22nd. My yellow dog followed me everywhere. Every which way I turned, he was there, wagging his tail and slobber coming out of his mouth when he was smiling at me all the time, as if he was saying, "Thank you, thank you, thank you for choosing me," and jumping up on me, his shaggy, straggly paws on my chest, like he was trying to hug the insides right out of me. And when us kids were playing outside kicking the ball, he'd chase after it and push it with his nose and push and getting slobber all over the ball, but no one cared because he was such a funny dog. That dog Sky. That straggly, furry, smiling dog Sky. And I would call him every morning, every evening, "Hey there, Sky." March 27th. Yes, you can type up what I wrote about my dog Sky, but don't type up that other secret one I wrote, the one all folded up in the envelope with the tape on it. That one uses too many of Mr. Walter Dean Myers' words, and maybe Mr. Walter Dean Myers would get mad about that. That concludes pages 35 to 49. I will see you again next time, readers, for the next entries from Jack, our poet. Thank you, boys and girls.